But it's just nice seeing all the players link back up for their various clubs, and you got some new managers in the league. And it was just weird, you know what I'm saying? And now we're gonna have another one soon because Ole got the sack. We all didn't want him to get the sack, but it was inevitable. And they've just been horrible, man. They've just been terrible. So look, with that, we're gonna start things off with Watford 4, Manchester United 1. Let's start things off with that game, and this is a game I was actually watching, and I watch all United games for some reason, and I tend to do that because City fan, United rival, Liverpool rival. I can't miss these games. You see what I mean? And I tend to watch the Chelsea games as well. So tune into this game. You know, I predicted United to win because they needed a big result here, seeing that they didn't beat Liverpool, they didn't beat City, they failed to beat Atalanta, they got something against Tottenham, and they needed to continue that win against Tottenham against Watford. And I'm like, it's like the worst performance of the season for United, Mike. You see what I'm saying? 4-1, that's embarrassing, and the sacking is deserved. What were your thoughts? What were your initial reactions, you know?
I mean, I couldn't believe the performance I saw. You know, when Ole was talking before the matchup, like we got to come out like a pack of wolves or something like that, I think he said, and they came out like a bunch of pack of puppies. It
Yeah.
was it was horrible. I mean, honestly, I couldn't believe what I was watching. But you know, everybody's gonna say, "Oh, Manchester United were terrible," but you got to give some credit to Watford. Like Ranieri's side, they came out of the blocks. They knew they had a wounded animal, and they took advantage of it. I mean, Ismail Assar. He missed two penalties.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and
But
it should have been, the game should have
just,
ended 7-1.
just before you go further, though, if you check the penalty, it's from the get-go United were bad.
Mm-hmm.
From the get-go. That miscued clearance from Bruno Fernandes that went back and almost set up Josh King, and then McTominay, very sloppy, brought down King. Penalty was given. Saar stepped up. That was a trash penalty, and the rebound was put in. These guys celebrated, but it had to be retaken. They got really lucky because the scorer had encroached, but then they realized that the Man United defenders had encroached again. Retake, Saar stepped up and put in even a worse penalty. But you got to give credit to David De Gea, though, because when I watched his interview, I felt for him. For some reason, I felt for him because I realized I never heard him speak before, and the man speaks almost perfect English, which,
Mm-hmm.
we know he's been there for about 10 years. And just the look on his face, he looks like he's a very good, he's a good player, but because he's at United, I give him a lot of, I really get on his case a lot, but it's over the years. David De Gea has been the best United player if you really look at it, consistently saving them time and time again. But not even De Gea could save them on the day, man. You know what I'm saying? And look, just to run through the goals really quick, before I let you share some of your thoughts. Josh King goal, brilliant cutback by Emmanuel Dennis. Wan-Bissaka with a poor attempt header. You think about that goal. Wan-Bissaka head the ball out. Why are you trying to head the ball back into play? It doesn't make any sense, man. These guys are just horrible. And King to score against his old team. Remember, he was a United player. And then that Saar goal from that angle. Oh, my God.
It was ridiculous. First time finish. Oh, it was ridiculous.
Listen, man. Kiko Femenia with the assist and 2-0 up. And Watford could have had more goals. They really could have had more goals at that point of the game. And United were poor. They had a few opportunities, but nothing really clear. And Watford dominated them. And this is a crunch game for United. This is Man United we're talking about. This is newly promoted Watford we're talking about, who every time they play Man City, they get 7 and 8. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I can't understand this. 2-0 at halftime, and you got to give Solskjaer some credit here for what he did when he brought on Danny van der Beek and Martial. Yep. Even the Martial didn't do anything. Danny van der Beek changed the game, though. Look, second half, They came back. Van de Beek scored. That was a look. This is the best I've seen Jadon Sancho play. By the way,
Great cross.
yeah, this is Jadon Sancho's best game in a United jersey, and Ronaldo linking up very unselfishly with Donny van de Beek to make that run. And Donny van de Beek, when he scored that goal and his cameo in the second half, showed us all that he should have been involved a lot more. He gives you something from midfield, a goal threat, creative threat, and he was never given his chance. And I saw a meme on Facebook where, the guy had like a straight face. He was covering one eye, and then he's like slowly smiling and bursting out with a big laugh at the fact that Solskjaer got sacked, because now he could probably flourish under the incoming manager. What are your thoughts on the Harry Maguire red card, man?
My God, man. I don't know what. I mean, you covered the Euros, Dom, like exclusively that Harry Maguire was so good. Him and Luke Shaw were so good for England in the Euros. And now I watch them. I'm like, they couldn't even play in the championship at this point. They are terrible. That left side costs over 100 and something million pounds. They're worth they go to Poundland at this point. They are terrible. I can't believe how bad Harry Maguire is. We know he doesn't have a much pace, but he's good on the ball. But that touch he had to get that second yellow card, atrocious. I mean, I have a better touch, and I play in the 6th division of Finnish football. Seriously, I'm not trying to diss Harry Maguire, but like that just proved to me that he is not in form at the moment.
It is just silly decisions, man. The decision making was poor in that game. Where when you look at it, you get the ball, move the ball fast, because these Watford players, they're hungry, they were eager, and they have something to prove, because look at their position in the table. Look at what they're going through. They have a manager sacked already. You get the ball, you know your options, you move the ball, pass the ball to your options. Why is he taking a second touch? He's a bit overconfident, and that overconfidence definitely sprung from those goals he scored against Albania and against San Marino. Like, you're scoring against Albania and San Marino, for crying out loud, and you're celebrating like if it's such a big deal, and then you go to play for United and you're playing like how most expensive defender of all time. Like, it does not justify it, man. He has not justified it.
Dom, did you see what he did after the game?
I didn't look. Most of the times after the games are done, they stop the footage. I didn't.
No, he went to a club in Sheffield.
He went to a club.
He went to a club in Sheffield, and there's a photo on it on Twitter, and I saw it, and I was like, this guy, I mean, he is not captain material whatsoever. You just knew he doesn't give a rat's ass at the moment about football. You can just tell. Like, he gets the goals, he knows there's noise about him and all this sort of stuff, but come on, man, you can't be going to a club in Sheffield. I know you want to celebrate, but losing 4-1 to Watford, seriously, Harry, come on, man. You're the most expensive defender in the world. Start playing like it and start acting like it.
Yeah, it's probably the English tax why he ended up being the most expensive.
Yeah, that's true as well. That's true as well.
But look, to give him credit, he was good at the World Cup. He has been good for England, and he deserved the move from Leicester because he was good. You see what I'm saying? Came from Hull to Leicester, and then I really admired Harry Maguire before he went to United, but since he went there, man, you know what I mean? The slab head and the fridge and all these names, and look, they were terrible, man. They were terrible all across the field, I'm telling you. Bruno Fernandes not showing up when he's supposed to. He had an opportunity, blasted it over. Ronaldo had opportunities. They all had opportunities. The amount of opportunities they had in the second half, I was saying they could have came back in the game. They went down 2-0, but I was saying, Watford, I cannot believe you guys are about to let Manchester United back into this game, and they almost did. Chances weren't taken. Ben Foster came up with some big saves as well. You got to give it to him, and you got to praise the Watford defenders. And Watford, after Man United went down to 10 men, Watford just it was like a lamb to the slaughter, man. Look, when they brought on João Pedro, I was like, I remember when they signed him too from Fluminense, and he didn't really have a first good season, and he was injured for a while. He went in the championship, did well, and Watford were just all over United, man. You see what I mean? Ishmael
I couldn't believe
Assar.
it.
Yeah, Emmanuel Dennis. When Dennis well, João Pedro did get the goal before Dennis. Dennis with the assist. That was his second assist. And then the Dennis goal set up by Ben Foster. That was Ben Foster's assist. And the way Dennis celebrated, like he took off his stat sports tracker and everything, and he took off everything and he just that meant a lot. That meant a lot to Watford. At the end of the season, it could be a difference. Watford's Premier League, well, let me put it this way. Status could be this game could be the difference. It could be
goal
a
difference.
3-point difference. The 3 points, or even goal difference, goal difference. It could come down to because of this game. United were horrible, and they deserve everything they got coming for them, because I don't like the way they do business, man. Every time someone's linked to somebody, they don't do the proper scouting. They don't do the proper vetting. I don't know what it is. It's like they're playing FIFA or something, and the player pop up, and they like and they go and sign the player, and they don't use the player properly. Look at Tellez. I'm not just talking to just hate on United. Look at the players that they bought. Tellez and Dallo, and you know what I mean? Look at Varane.
Donny.
He's injured. Look at Donny van de Beek. Look at Sancho. The list goes on. They have guys like Juan Mata at the club doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of problems that need to be worked out at that club. It's just not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's the players. It's the board. It's who's in charge. Somebody's in charge who doesn't know a thing about football. And it's just the whole, setup at the club right now. You have Carrick and Fletcher in charge now. What do you think? Things are going to improve? You see what I'm saying? Look.
Dom, do you mind getting actually the statement from Manchester United? Because I think it's really important to read it. Because literally the last 2 sentences just tell me everything what this board is all about for Manchester United. I'm not trying to hate on Manchester United. I know they're the most successful club in England. We all know that. But seriously, they are run by a bunch of incompetent people at the moment. They really are.
The way, listen, even before I get to the club statement, right? I'm looking on Twitter right now. This is a joke, bro. I'm telling you, when I tell you this thing is a joke, when I tell you Man United are a joke, I mean Man United are a joke. Because if a player, I know he's a club legend and all, but if a manager goes 7 games at a club like United and you only win 1, you sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You sack him, and you label it a sack. That's what you do. You label it a sack. I don't want to hear nothing about by mutual consent or nothing, because the whole fucking world knows it's a sacking. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. If it was Mourinho, Louis van Gaal, he would have been axed and sacked, and they would have had capital letters on sacked.
It is a sacking. It is a sacking. And you know how pathetic it is? You know how pathetic it is? You go and you do an interview with Man United TV after you got sacked. Like, who does an interview with the club after you get sacked? You get sacked, you leave. I don't care how many years you've been there. I don't care what you did for the club. You're no longer an employee here. You take your shit out the locker and you leave. You see what I'm saying? It's a joke. Not ruthless enough. And it's just laughable.
They're acting like a small club. They're acting like a small club at the moment. If it was Chelsea, you know what? I don't know what they said when they sacked Frank Lampard. It must have said sacked. That's how a club is run nowadays. Unfortunately, football is a business. It's not about being a family club or anything like that. It's a business at the end of the day. It's about making money and winning the trophies. Manchester United are unfortunately not about that anymore. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, they were about winning trophies and making the big bucks. Right now, it's Chelsea, it's Man City, and it's Liverpool who are running this league, unfortunately, for Manchester United fans.
Well said. Let me read this statement and then we'll move on, because I don't want to race. I really don't have the energy and the time to waste on this joke team. Seriously. I don't mean to come off disrespectful or anything, But there's only one good team in Manchester, and this ain't it. You see what I mean?
I mean, you can skip literally the whole interview, the whole statement until you've reached the last two sentences because it's
Nah,
all just BS.
it's not that long. It's not
It's
that
actually not that
long.
long, yeah.
Manchester United announces that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has left his role as manager. How is he leaving his role as manager? He was sacked because of poor results. Like, come on. Ole will always be a legend at Manchester United, and it is with regret that we have reached this difficult decision. While the past few weeks have been disappointing, they should not obscure all the work he has done over the past 3 years to rebuild the foundations for long-term success. Ole leaves with our sincerest thanks for his tireless efforts and as manager, and our very best wishes for the future. His place in the club history will always be secure, not just for his story as a player, but as a great man and a manager who give us many great moments. He will forever be welcome back at Old Trafford as part of the Man United family. Michael Carrick will now take charge of the team for forthcoming games while the club looks to appoint an interim manager to the end of the season. To the end, this is joke.
They're
This is
hiring an
all,
interim. They have an interim who's going to hire an interim who's going to hire an interim manager to the end of the season. This is a joke, man. This is
this is
actually a
all
joke.
this is all a joke, bro. Because look, you know why it's a joke? What great moments did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer give to
One,
United
one, zero,
fans?
one. The amount of trophies as you and me did, Dom. Zero. A big fat donut.
Exactly. Bro, I just shut my cabin up upstairs. It's fucking empty, bro. For the just like Ole's achievement as a Man United manager. It was an atrocious freaking tenure. It was bad. It was
Well,
terrible.
I wouldn't say it's terrible. It's better than Mourinho and Louis van Gaal. Okay, those managers won trophies,
Marie,
but but
listen.
they actually had like some good memories, like coming back against PSG and these sort of memories. But the end of it was just terrible. He should have got sacked after
Bro,
the Leipzig
bro,
loss. He should have
Ole
got
got
sacked after that.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as soon as Liverpool scored their fifth goal and the whistle blew, the meeting should have been held and all this would have been avoided. Just before we move on,
Yep.
I don't want to stay forever. You know, you and I got something else to talk about.
Hmm.
Bro, United are such jokers that they allowed Antonio Conte, who would have been ideal to take this club to the next level, to the level where they used to be. They allowed him to go to Tottenham when they could
Hmm.
have just pulled the trigger and they could have sacked him. I like to use the analogy. You and I are at a bar. We see a hot girl, and she's a good hot girl. Not just, she's good. She's
Hmm.
just gold. I snooze. I go to the bathroom when I should have went to talk to the girl. You go over there, you talk to the girl, bam. 50
I'll take
years,
it.
50 years marriage. You die together. You see what I'm
I'll take it,
saying?
bro.
You know what I mean? And I live to regret it. Listen, United are jokers, man. Listen,
I just
shout
want to
out.
say one
Listen,
thing. I just want to say one thing. What did they do during the international break? They did absolutely nothing this board. They had no game plan, no structure, no nothing. This is the difference between having a good business plan and having a horrible business plan. And we are clearly seeing it now in football between Manchester United and the other top teams across Europe. Even Barcelona
facts.
actually had a game plan. They actually said, all right, Xavi, you're coming now. Even though they're in a bit of a
Exactly.
struggle right now, Barcelona said, Xavi, you're our main guy. We're going after you. Manchester United, it seems like they all went to the beach in Tampa Bay or Norway or wherever they were during the national break. So, yeah.
Exactly. So look, man, well played, Watford.
Hmm.
With that 3 points, Watford, let me make sure I get this right. Let me just refresh this thing right now because my thing wasn't refreshed. Watford are 16th. They got 13 points. United are only 4 points ahead of Watford. Only 4 points in 8th. Only 4 points. Listen, 12 games, 17 points. That's relegation form, bro. Just want to put it out there. That is relegation form. That's 17 out of a possible, you hear me. 36. 17 out of a possible 36 points is poor.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
pretty
poor,
poor.
bro.
It's
That
poor.
is poor. Listen, don't need to, who do you think they're going to get? Who do you think is going to come in as an interim? I've been hearing that Laurent Blanc might come in. What you hearing?
Go ahead and hire Laurent Blanc. Do you know how many games he's won in the last 10 in Qatar League? 9. He's won 1 game in the last 10 in the Qatar League. I think I read that right. I'm not too sure. Somebody can let us know in the chat. But I mean, if you want to hire Laurent Blanc, go ahead. He'll structure the club a little bit, play some good defensive football. I mean, they're probably going to keep. Watch what happens. They're going to beat Villarreal. They might beat Chelsea, and then they'll say maybe they'll beat Arsenal as well.
Then they'll say, let's say, Carrick, you're the man now.
Carrick's at the wheel. Carrick's at the wheel.
Yep. I told somebody that at work today. I kid you not. I said, bet Carrick is going to go and go on a mad run, and then they're going to give it to Carrick because. Yes. You know what they say. Wait until the end of the season to hire a real manager, to hire a full-time manager, because they probably wait until the season ends because they know Ten Hag won't leave the Ajax job midway through. They know Brendan Rodgers won't leave. But if they wait until the new season starts, then they could negotiate and they could say, okay, this is what we have, this is the vision, and come over. You see what I mean?
Yep.
So. That's
wasting a year of Ronaldo's greatness, though. Wasting a year of his greatness. I can't believe it.
That's the other thing. A lot of us thought that with Cristiano Ronaldo, they're gonna win. They could win the title, but we